Meekin compensation plan is what I've been asked to talk about. Let me get my cup out of the way. First, we have duplicable resources that we need to be able to pass on to our team, right? Because we can't get everybody here. And if we're growing our teams really fast, we don't have time to teach the basics to everybody individually. So there are duplicable resources that we can and should use. The details of our compensation plan are in 2 documents in MyMeekin, the policies and procedures, and the lifestyle bonus and the home incentive. That was where I went to come together with the information that is in this presentation. Silver Training covers the basics of the compensation plan as well. So let's use it. It's leverageable. It's every 3 weeks or so online. Anyone in North America can just hop in and begin to learn more about the comp plan. Now they can hear it, interact with it, as well as having read it in those 2 documents as well. And of course, we have our sponsor and our upline coaches as well. We have plenty of resources to, at the end of the day, understand this compensation plan. I want to start with why. How many of you are familiar with Simon Sinek's work? Start with Why, his book, or maybe the 20-minute video from TED Talk. If you have not seen it, you get it. It's a great way to start your people off down this path toward their why when Humans Be More hasn't happened yet. The 20-minute video that is the TED Talk, I think really helps people to begin to understand why it's so important to find their why and connect with it. As Simon says, when we find our why, we move from doing things conventionally to things remarkably. And that's one of my goals here for this talk on the compensation plan, is to help perhaps you to see it in another way, to certainly understand the details, but to see how remarkable results can be created, because it's a beautiful comp plan, as was said earlier. Mr. Masuda started Meekin with a why. His son got better because of the products. He couldn't do an operation for his son because he didn't have the money being a desk clerk in the bus station in Japan. So he took this invention that he stumbled upon, this knowledge he stumbled upon in the products, and created a company, and he designed it to be a meritocracy, network marketing, where the people who create the most value in the world receive the most value in return in the form of money. Okay? We've got a stair-step breakaway comp plan. That's the only type of comp plan that actually enables the true meritocracy to exist. You've heard of others, perhaps binaries and trinaries, and they actually tend to flow the money to the top, not to the people who have created the most value, or to the sooner in. Stair-step breakaway can be misused to do that too. Meekin's is not. Meekin's is truly, when I stumbled upon this, it's like, oh, a meritocracy. Finally, people getting paid for what they're worth. People getting paid for the value they're creating in the world. And that's the legacy that Mr. Masuda left us. That was his why. He got enough money to do the operation for his son, but he helped all of us and all the people we're helping get enough money in our life to live our own why, which we get to find in Humans Be More and other vehicles as well. Jeff asked a question earlier. How much do I deserve? Why do I deserve it? I'd encourage you to ask yourself this question regularly. Not only how much do I intend to earn per month, but why do I deserve that much money per month? We did an exercise on that earlier today. And it's worth doing again and again and again, especially since there seems to be this thing, probably beyond North America, but that's where I'm most familiar, this misinterpretation of the Bible and other religious things, that money is the root of all evil, when in fact it was the love of money is the root of all evil. Jeff shared with us that Mother Teresa had access to tens of millions of dollars to do great things in the world. I learned that from my mentor, Pat Terry, when I showed her my first life cycle plan. And she took a look at it. This was in October. I'd been in Meekin for 4 months. I was at leadership convention. She took a look at it and said, "Where's the money?" I said, "I'm not in this for the money." She said, "You got a problem." Because the number of people you intend to help in the world, you're operating using Meekin as the vehicle, and the compensation plan says money is going to flow to you if you help that many people. You better figure out what you're going to do with it. Or you're stopping the flow of money, and thus you're stopping the flow of people that you're helping as well. So I went to another Humans Be More and completed the rest of my life cycle plan. I didn't realize we were actually supposed to work on all 5 pillars in our life cycle plan. So what is your why? Why do you deserve, and how much do you deserve to earn per month? Now let's go to the how. How can I earn whatever your number is per month? If you look behind the words in the comp plan to the intent of the comp plan, this is the intent of the comp plan. If you want to make $10,000 a month, help a few people together earn $10,000 a month. If you want to make $100,000 a month, help a few people together earn $100,000 a month. This will become more clear in a moment. Wolfgang Sonnenberg started me down this path May of last year in his very last presentation on Saturday morning, which for the 1/3 of the people that are still there, it seemed to blow everybody's mind because he turned the comp plan inside out. And I continued down that journey that he started us on and came to this conclusion. We are absolutely all about helping people. And that includes helping them make money, because that's where ours comes from, according to the comp plan. Some examples. There are some teams here. Dr. Linder, you've got a team here, okay? If I may put you on the spot.
Sure.
And your team, how much money per month do you intend to earn?
30,000.
Okay. How many legs do you have in the room?
Let me see. 4.
4. With the leaders, whether they're at the top or not of those legs, stand for a moment, please.
Well, you guys stand because
Great. Thank you. Kathy, how much money do you intend to make per month?
10,000.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pam.
Pam.
12,000.
12,000.
25,000.
8,964.
Great. Did anybody add that up?
never change.
45,964.
Ooh, he's good.
Gary, I think your number's a little too low.
Okay.
So let's give these guys a hand. They are aligned. Gary's team is in place for his own goals. Those goals for everyone may change over time. But that's a group working together like that game that we played earlier today. It's important, I believe, to not only find the dreams of our people, but find the money they need to fund those dreams and find out if we got enough to fund our own dreams in the process. So, there is one caveat, one detail to this, which is help a small group of people make exactly the same amount of money as a group that you want to make yourself. Those people do need to be in separate legs, according to the comp plan. It's not people making $45,894 in one leg. We got to add those up because they were different legs, and the comp plan says that as well. So, what's the process to come up with why do I deserve to earn so many dollars a month, and what does that impact, and why are we talking about money? Those of you that heard me in Vegas, I was a little challenging, I think, for that room. And the 600 people in there when I said we must help people make money. And the side effect, one of the wonderful side effects, is they get well. Because the way that we help people make money involves the flow of our products, which Dr. Linder just showed us are amazing and create incredible stories. But if we focus on first helping people get well, we still make money. It just takes a lot longer. If we help them to make money first, they get well too. I think one of the things I said from Vegas, which I continue to use, is we all know this is the only place we have to live, our body. Right? This group of people has gotten attracted here because we're willing to do something about it. We're willing to get off the couch and do something about it, but unfortunately, most of the world is not yet at that point. Thus the issue of compliance or lack required thereof. But people will get off the couch to go get a second job. And they will wake up earlier in the morning to go get a third job. We need to meet them where they're at. We need to listen and build that relationship with them. And as Benny said, build the relationship, and then the friendship comes from helping them with what they need. Well, most of these people need badly the money, right? They also need the health and all the other things as well. But the thing they're willing to do something about, in general, this doesn't apply to everybody, is the money. So find the life that their heart desires. And then Humans Be More helps us do that, and Humans Be More then helps us grow our mind. What are the mental blocks that are in our way to living that life that our heart desires? And then once we become aware of them, we can leave them in place or we can get rid of them. Right? Then we must help people, because this is a meritocracy-based comp plan. And when we make a difference in society, when we help people, when we create value, that's when the money flows back to us. And there's the money. That money now can fund the life that our heart desires. When I met Rex and Susie at HBM and sat down and had lunch with them, I asked them, why were they doing the camp? And what were their financial goals? And the first thing they said to me is to give away 90% of their income. I never heard anything like that before. I loved it. Right? And then I learned about the Farm and Fleece store that's been in business, and it's not really their passion, but they're doing it to honor their parents, and they see a different life for themselves, including giving away 90% of their income. And then I asked them a question that it didn't seem like that they had quite wrestled with yet, which is, well, how much do you need to live on? So they noodled on it a little bit at lunch and said $10,000 a month. I said, oh, so you need to make $100,000 a month and you can. And they said, you're right. Right? So $100,000 a month, to those of you that think that's an insane number or whatever, I love Rex and Susie's story because it's the good they're going to do in the world with 90% of it. Right? Money is just an energy flow. So once you do have the finances to fund the life your heart desires, which can drive into any of the other 4 pillars, go make it happen in those other 4 pillars, wherever they are important to you. With more money, I'm going to go to more Tony Robbins events. So my personal growth is going to go up. With more money, I'm going to reinvest it in microphilanthropy into society and make a difference in yet another way, besides, you can on the first round, on the first path through society. We each have our own plans, our life cycle plans. One of the things I think it's really, really important to understand is this quote from Frank Demler, who's all about entrepreneurship. Out here in Silicon Valley, we may hear this if you're associated with VCs and all, this phrase gets bandied about as the VCs are negotiating their deals, in how much of the company they're going to get for how much money they're getting. But this really applies more generally than that. A small piece of a big pie is better than a large piece of a small pie. And it's really important if we want to make $30,000 a month, $25,000 a month, $8,964, that's memorable, dollars a month, to realize where that comes from. 6% of a big organizational volume is better than 5 to 45% of a small frontline PGV. You've heard probably a lot of people in Econ say start with the end in mind. I think that's really, really important. The end is a large network. The end is a large organization. 6% of that is where your earnings are going to come from. 6% of that is where your people's earnings are going to come from. If you really want to help them make money, help them understand that. Help them build a network. And a stable, long-lasting network. Because networks grow exponentially and front lines grow linearly. So it gets more dramatic. 6% of a big organizational growing exponential is way more than even 45% of retail product moving through a linearly growing front line. We can do whatever we want. This is not a judgment about any approaches. I just want to help people, I hope, understand clearly the choices that we have within this comp plan. Because like every comp plan, they're complex. Karen, you've worked with all kinds of comp plans over the years, yes? In
Many.
sales training, 20-some years. Are any of them really, really simple?
No.
Because they're here to incent human behavior. Right? In this case, Mr. Masuda's vision of what human behavior could be in the world. So, Rick did us all a huge service last year as the Heart of Econ Award winner, going around and helping us understand that I teach 3, to reach 3. And this is how I build a network. This is how I build my income. This is how I build their income on the team as well. And this is the network. You're getting paid 6% down to 6 active levels. This is just what our comp plan says by the time you're Royal Diamond or Royal Ambassador, but this is what's possible. This is starting with the end in mind. That frontline stuff that's going on, yeah, you can make up to 45% if it's a retail order, right? You can make 0 if you're starting out as a direct, haven't made senior yet, somewhere in there. If you got some people below you, it's your pay minus their pay, whatever, we'll get to that. But there's way more people and way more volume here. And that's where the 6%, I believe, is what we should be focusing on. And why do I say that your 30,000 comes from the sum of theirs? Because there's your 6% and they're getting paid 6% too. We make $1 when we help a small group of people in different legs make $1. Wolfgang started me down this path. It was brilliant. And I'll repeat something he said. If you ever let anybody tell you that network marketing is taking advantage of somebody, that you're making money off their backs, please believe otherwise. That is so not true. If we do not focus on helping our people make $1,